Morning guys. Okay, so this is kind of like, it's not really a review, it's kind of a mixture of a review and my ideas and opinions about all the issues that have come out about the iPhone 4. Now, first of all, let me explain how the iPhone 4 came to be with me. I spoke to Vicky whenever the iPhone 4 come out, and she had said to me, you know, because obviously we don't have separate money. All the money that we bring into this house as a combined income belongs to both of us. Okay, so there's no secrets or nothing like that between Vicky and I. Although having said that, Vicky is most certainly the financial boss in the house, but that's because I'm not very good with money. If I was left to my own devices, I'd probably be out buying all sorts of gadgets and all the rest of it, and would probably get us into a whole lot of trouble. So it's best the way it is. Anyway, when the iPhone 4 came out, you know, Vicky knew straight away what was going through in my mind. She said, listen, please don't go out and get it just yet. You're going to have to wait another couple of months, because at that point I had just spent around about £600 on the iPad, give or take a couple of pound with the, the peripherals and stuff like that there that came with it, the case and what have you, and then downloading apps and all the rest of it. So I agreed, and I said yes, okay, there's definitely, that's reasonable for me to wait. Then about a week, because don't forget the iPhone 4 was announced, and there was about a 3 or 4 week period before it was actually going to hit the shelves. So then when the iPhone 4 actually came out, Vicky turned around and said, right, okay, I tell you what, we'll go and get it, but give it another week or so. And obviously she was listening to things I was talking about in the house and what have you, and the issues that was coming out with the iPhone 4, and she was saying, maybe, do you not think it's better waiting? So I said, yeah, okay. Then on Saturday morning just passed, I was lying in bed, it was my turn for my lie-in, and the next thing is Vicky is waving the box, which is up there, kind of in front of my face as I'm still lying in the bed. And as I opened my eyes, I had no idea the phone was coming, first of all. I knew I was going to get one at some point, but I had no idea that Vicky had gone out and ordered this. And so when I seen the iPhone 4, I was over the moon. I can't tell you how excited I was. Now, I wanted to open it there and then, but I thought, no, I better go downstairs quickly and do an unboxing video. And it was probably best that I was stood behind the camera at that particular time, because I probably would have scared quite a lot of people. So I'd done the unboxing video quite quickly. As a result, the quality on the camera wasn't that great, because when you set the camera up, you've got to focus it in first of all before you can take your video, and I forgot to do that. I was just so tired. I just opened my eyes. I was so excited. I just wanted to get the unboxing video on the card so that I could then open it and actually hold the phone in my hand. So that's how I got the phone. Aside of the phone, I'm one of the luckiest people in the world, because, and Vicky will probably not thank me for saying this, but I've been through so much in the last 11 years. And when I first met Vicky, I was a very, very fit soldier. I was doing triathlons, I was a physical training instructor in the army. Doing a triathlon to me wasn't really a big deal. I'd run marathons. I'd go out for a 10-mile run in the morning before I would start my work. So I was incredibly fit. Used to do Thai boxing, loads and loads and loads of sports, football, rugby, you name it, I got involved in it. And then I had my accident, and then, my injury, and then that was it. Vicky practically became my carer from that point on. And she stuck with me through so many things that an awful lot of people would have walked away from before now. So I'm incredibly lucky. And then obviously, she goes out and does this for me without me even knowing about it, which was just the icing on the cake for me on Saturday morning. So, I have to give Vicky a lot of credit for being the most amazing wife in the world. And while I'm talking about Vicky, just very quickly, the giveaway video that I was supposed to do on the 1st of July, which didn't end up getting done until the 2nd of July, I want to say thank you to every single person who wished Vicky well. Basically what had happened was, about 6 years ago, Vicky had a tumour on her appendix, and the doctors worked incredibly quickly, just cut the whole thing out, and just to be on the safe side, they cut half her bowel out as well. They wanted to make sure that cancer didn't spread and all the rest of it, and it was over like in days, weeks. The whole thing was over. Quite recently, she started getting a lot of pains in and around the same area that she was getting them in when they discovered the tumour. And so we took her down in the casualty because she was in a lot of pain, and they'd done some tests and what have you and all the rest of it. So we're still in the process of going through tests, but we're really worried at the minute in case something like this is coming back at her. So so that was the reason why things didn't go as well as they did on the first. So anyway, right, so the iPhone, so the reason I've made the video, so that's how I got the phone. Now, all these issues surrounding the iPhone 4, you know, guys, I'm not saying for a single second that people are lying about what they're saying. You know, I'm not suggesting that people weren't getting dropped calls or anything like that, but I've had this phone, and I watched Eric's video where he was saying, you know, about when he's been using the iPhone 4 that his colleagues have had, he's been trying to do drop calls and stuff like that, and when they do that, occasionally it'll drop calls. I've done the same thing on my phone, and I haven't had a single drop call or loss of signal or anything. In fact, and I don't know whether this is, you know, I'm on a Vodafone network. Now, I've never been with Vodafone. In all the years I've had mobile phones, I've never ever been with Vodafone, so I can't really say too much about this network other than the experience I'm having right now with this. I'm getting signals in places in and around where I live now that I never ever got with O2, and really strong signals. The drop call thing is just not it's just not happening with this phone. So I have to be very careful what I'm saying, guys, because I'm not calling people liars or anything like that. But what I am saying, what I do say, and what I stand by, and I said it in a video quite recently when I was talking about my concerns about Apple, I think the media, it's a well-known fact, guys, whenever people climb from the bottom and they get right up to the top and they do incredibly well, they attract many more people and companies that are also eager to knock them back down again. And when they do knock them back down again, they're there to stick the boot right back in. And I think that's the case with Apple now. Apple's #1 in terms of technology companies now, and they've done that over a relatively short period of time. I'm talking about from when Steve Jobs came back to Apple, not obviously from the very beginning, but from when Steve Jobs came back to Apple. So I think now the media take great pleasure in, you know, absolutely crucifying the tiniest little thing that gets brought out. I mean, we're talking about dropped calls here on the phone, and it's not good when a company brings out a phone and it doesn't work properly. It's not good. But you've got to take into context how the media are portraying this. I personally, and I've spoke to a lot of people as well on Twitter, especially in the UK, and on emails, and they're in exactly the same situation. They've never had dropped calls, and they don't know what the issue is. Now, obviously, like I say, I'm not calling people liars or anything at all like that, but I wonder, has this been completely blown way out of context, and this is kind of people high up in the media trying to tarnish Apple's reputation by coming out with things like this, and, you know, not coming out with things, not making up things like that, but taking little bits of information that they're seeing on social networks and then completely blowing it way out of proportion. And that's my own personal opinion as to what's happening with this particular situation in the drop calls. You know, like, I can remember one time walking through Durham, and there was a guy with his girlfriend, and there was a sports car. It was like a Lamborghini. It was like a canary yellow Lamborghini. And the guy walked past with his girlfriend, and he stuck his boot right into the wing of the Lamborghini and spat on it. And I can remember listening to what he was saying as well. And I mean, like, luckily enough, there was a police officer not too far away, seen him do it, and he was arrested for it. And he was turning around saying to his girlfriend, effing W and stuff like this here, you know, this person, loads of money, and trying to, you know, rub it into people's noses. And that's kind of like a large social mentality with people. They don't like to see people do well, which is why I refer to it in this incident with Apple. So that's my take on the the whole issue about the drop calls. Now, like I say guys, this isn't a proper review. I've only had this phone now since Saturday. It's now Tuesday, so I haven't really done a great deal with it. But the next thing I want to talk about is the Retina display. Now, when the first video I seen of the iPhone 4 was John Retina. He done a kind of like a live stream as he was unboxing the video and setting it all up and what have you, and then done some videos of showing the Retina display. And obviously, quite obviously, the quality of YouTube videos doesn't pick up on the Retina display that well. And as he was doing some tests between this, the iPhone 4, the iPhone 3GS, and I think it was the HTC Evo that he done it with as well at the time. The iPhone 4 didn't really look that great. The Retina display on the camera didn't really look that impressive in comparison to some of the 3GS and types. Certainly not impressive enough to go out and really pinpoint that as one of the selling points of the phone. But it's not until actually you have one of these in your hand and you see it with your own eyes how different the display is in comparison to the 3GS. And I can't compare it to other phones. Vicky's got a BlackBerry, so I can compare it to that to a little extent, but BlackBerry is a different type of phone. So the Retina display I'm very happy with. The reading experience on this is tremendous, and it's such a fast phone as well. I'm really excited about having this. And this phone with the iPad, like I said in the last video I made with my 1 month on review for the iPad, I think the iPhone 4 and the iPad combined together, being so portable, the devices being so portable, I think is an unbeatable combination. There's not another, with these two devices, I can't think of anything else that you're going to need whenever you're going online. And people were coming back and saying, well, yeah, that's all very well and good, but in terms of connectivity with the iPad and the iPhone, that's where the downfall comes, for people who are using laptops. Well, the thing I would say about that is, so many things now are going cloud based, so many things are going stream and stuff like that. You don't need all these extra peripherals anymore. It's all wireless technology, and that's the way the future's going, which is why the iPhone 4 and the iPad combined work so well together. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the gyroscope. Now, a lot of people were saying whenever the phone came out that the gyroscope wasn't really a big selling point for the iPhone 4. And I said at the time, well, the gyroscope technology all really depends on the developers. The gyroscope, in my opinion, was a tool, not for us, the users, but for the developers to develop applications that were going to enhance the power of the gyroscope, and therefore that's where we would find the benefit of the gyroscope. Obviously on the phone now as it stands, the gyroscope means nothing. And like I say, until the developers get hold of it, get their head around it and start making some really good apps that are going to completely embrace this technology, I don't think we're going to see the true extent of the gyroscope just yet. So that's my kind of take on the gyroscope. So that's it guys, that's my little tiny review on the iPhone 4. I will be doing a much more thorough review once I've had it for a little bit of time, a month or so. I'll come back and do a proper review. There's no point in going through, there's no point in me showing you the Retina display, because there's many videos that are out there showing you the Retina display, and like I've already mentioned, you're not going to. It's really immaterial in any case, because you're not going to see the full potential of the gyroscope or the Retina display. It's something that you need to go down into your local phone store and see it for yourself with your own eyes before you decide whether that's going to be a selling point for you. This video is going on way too long, so I'll cut it off here guys. Thanks very much for watching the video. Don't forget, go across to Tech Planet 30. There's lots of other things going on across there, including the Tech Air iPad bag and screen protector that I'm giving away. So go across there, you can find out more information about it on the website. You can also follow me on Twitter. Also go across to Picasa and my Flickr accounts as well. You'll find the details for those on Tech Planet 30. And if you're a little bit fed up with all the tech stuff that I'm coming out with at the minute, you can also go across to my blog, which is iharrison30.blogspot.com, and I'm talking about all sorts of different things on there. Diets, debt, stupid little things that happen to me during the day, like somebody cutting me up in my car the other day because they didn't indicate. That type of thing, it really bugs me. There's a little bit about that over there as well. So you can go across there, find out the not so tech side of me, and you can take part on there. You can follow me on that blog as well. There's a little link there where you can click on follow, and then you will get updates, automatic updates of whatever I put down on that blog. So guys, thank you very much for all your support, and thanks very much for tuning in, and see you later. Bye.